We've got the final 2 games of the League One season coming up today. We've already secured promotion back to the Championship, and now we just need, as a minimum, a win and a draw to secure the League One title, if my maths is right, which we'll check in a minute. Hello and welcome to Season 14, Part 9 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode we have our final 2 games of the season. We're away against Gillingham, at home against Doncaster. We just played the one game since you were last with me where we beat Stevenage 2-0, and Walsall, very importantly, lost their game or drew their game. I'm not actually sure what happened. All I know is we're now top of the league. They're not. No. I think they lost and we won. So 2 games left. We're already promoted. We've got that 2-point gap plus a 12-point goal difference gap. I think even if they win both their games, a draw and a win for us is enough. So if we can pick up the win today, we go into the last game of the season knowing we just need a draw, and that would be nice. Garcia's pretty much got League One top scorer wrapped up and League One best player wrapped up, which is nice as well. And we just need to go and try and win a football match. And this is the team that we're going to put out there to do that. We've got Thompson in goal, a back four of Williams, Tanner, Gabrielli and Miller. Duxbury, Cool and O'Brien in midfield with Opoku in behind Foot and Garcia. Look at the amount of goals those 2 players have scored between them. That strike partnership is too good for League One. And Jordan Todd must be wondering what he has to do to be a regular starter, because he's probably a 25 goal a season striker in League One as well, but just isn't getting the opportunity to play the games. Yes, we put ourselves in the best position possible. Yes, we're going to win the match. I don't know who he is. I guess he's one of our youngsters who the Director of Youthness has just offered a new contract to. Lots of contracts happened. I think my youth development man, I think I've got him set to offer contracts, which was an accident. That must have been a hangover from whoever was here previously. Probably need to fix that so he's not hurling out contracts willy-nilly. Although, looking at some of the youngsters that we've had who are a little bit older, I think the youth setup is pretty good here at Ipswich, so it probably isn't the worst thing in the world if we start throwing contracts around to young players, especially because we've had our budget set for next year. We've been given an extra £100,000 of wage budget, no transfer budget to speak of, but I think this team's good enough to be a mid-table Championship side as it is without... Oh, Garcia's in, it's 1-0, his 36th goal of the season. I wonder what he's going to be like in the Championship. Is it going to be a step too far? We know Mark Foot can perform at that level. In theory, based on this year, Garcia's even better than he is. I mean, Mark Foot's already a 20-goal-a-season Championship striker. If Garcia can do 20-25 goals at that level as well, then we have nothing to worry about. I think we just need to try and find a decent goalkeeper on a free transfer, a decent central defensive midfield player, maybe another midfielder as well. Hopefully we'll get Lara on loan for another year. Otherwise, we need another attacking midfielder to complement Opoku. And maybe a fullback or 2. You know, I love a fullback, but I don't think we need a lot. A lot of those players are just going to be sort of strength in depth kind of thing. I don't necessarily think we need to go out and get a whole new midfield, for example. I think if Duxbury is one who's not secured on loan for next year yet, if he doesn't stick around, we might need something. Although the other thing is, the reason he didn't sign a new loan contract is because his contract with his parent club's up in the summer. So we might even be able to sign him permanently, which would be a bit of a coup for us, just coming out of League One. But then he was with us in the Championship before. So fingers crossed we can make that piece of business. Aaron Cool will probably move on, if not retire. I would like him to become part of my coaching setup, but I vaguely remember him announcing a retirement just before I started playing him every game again, so we might get him to rethink that. That's a good finish. We were supposed to be winning this game. As it is, Walsall are winning their game, we're drawing. We've now got that whole level on points thing that we talked about. Our goal difference is keeping us top of the league. I don't really want to go into the last game of the season in the situation where we must win. I'd quite like to have a little bit of a cushion knowing that a draw on the last day is enough, but that could have been horrible. I've forgotten about the scenario where we lose today and suddenly we could be going into the last day of the season and it's out of our hands completely, which would be awful. We've all seen from last year how cruel this game can be in the run-in at the end of the season. I do not want to be relying on anyone else's results because we played that game last year and it was horrible. So we need to take care of this ourselves. We need to go and win this game in the second half and then win our next game, and then we just don't need to care. And that's a world I want to live in. Foot to Opoku, to O'Brien, back to Duxbury, and Foot out to Williams. Cross comes in and nobody's there. Why were Garcia and Opoku basically standing on top of each other? We've let a player in behind us here, and Thompson makes a decent save. This isn't going the way I had hoped it would go, although we've got a decent interception there, but the move just sort of peters out. But we've got the ball again now. It's with Duxbury to Opoku, out to Williams. That's a terrible cross that bounced back off the post, but bounced back at such an angle where it didn't end up in the back of the net, and it also didn't end up in the path of Garcia. Oh, it's not going to be one of those days, is it? Garcia's in. Goal number 37 for the season. I think he is now running at a goal a game, because I think he was one goal short of a goal a game previously. He is now at a goal a game. I don't think I've ever had in my entire history of playing Football Manager a player who's gone through a whole season scoring at a goal a game. If he can get a third goal today, he guarantees that as a minimum, and I guess officially becomes the best striker I've ever had. And I've spent most of the season criticising him and saying he can't finish, can't score goals for Toffee. Oh, look at all those chances he gets, how wasteful. Well, yeah, he scores a goal every single game he plays. So there's that. We don't necessarily need him to get a hat-trick every day, or wouldn't that be pleasant? They're in again. Who are Gillingham? Who do they think they are? Bunch of upstarts. Where are they even in the league? If they're down in the relegation zone and doing this nonsense for us, I will not be best pleased. That's really poor defending again. Thompson is so frustrating because sometimes he's brilliant and sometimes he's like that. And it's just like he's not aware of what's going on around him. But Murphy's no better. It's a real weakness we've got in the squad. Miller's not having a good game at all. We'll take him off, bring on Talak. And we'll also take off Aaron Cool, bring on Lara, and just shuffle this midfield around a little bit and just try and create something. We want to go and grab a winner, really, because I've said we don't care what's going on anywhere else today, but I am now kind of half looking at what's going on with Walsall and hoping they just drop a point or drop a couple of points and take the pressure off us a little bit, because we did show last year that we're capable of a bottle job, and goodness me, we're losing with less than 15 minutes left. We're giving the title to Walsall at the moment, and I don't understand how or why. We're setting all kinds of records as clubs. We've won more games than Ipswich have ever won before this season. We've already got more points than Ipswich have ever got before. How can we set all those records in a year where we don't even win the title? Right, Todd has got 10 minutes to show me that he deserves to start the last game of the season. God, that would be a massive decision if we make that. Cross comes in. Lara, who was that? Who on earth was that? Luke Williams, our left back, has just scored the weirdest goal you'll ever see a left back score. Why was he even there? I do not understand why he was anywhere near that part of the pitch. I don't care. That could be one of the most important goals in the history of the club. Although we are already promoted, so it's not that important. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter whether we finish first or second. The goal is to get back into the Championship. But what a massive, massive goal that is, in the spirit of trying to add another little bit of silverware to Kev's trophy cabinet. We just have to win the last game of the season, and we're champions. There's been a couple of injuries, so we've had to make a few changes for this final game of the season. Powell comes in for Tanner at centre-back. Lara's come in for the injured Opoku. Mark Foot also had an injury. He's not trained all week. Look at me pretending like I know what goes on at training. I can't really see it from my office. But he is fit enough to play, although I expect to see Jordan Todd on at some point because he's not as fit as we would like. Similar situation with both Duxbury and O'Brien, who both had slight knocks in midweek as well. So we just got to win the game. We know that's what we've got to do. Win the football match, we win the league. That's all there is. We're so desperate at the back that Francesco Costa makes his way onto the bench and gets a squad number. Yes, we've given ourselves a great platform. Yes, they're both great. And yes, we just need to win. Let's score goals. No, we're going to be fine. Yes, incentive. Doncaster are 10-1 for this game. If we don't win this and then win the league, that's just silly. I thought Doncaster were up there challenging for the playoffs at some point. Perhaps they were early on and I just noticed them and then for some reason didn't notice them falling down the league. I don't know why I would particularly notice Doncaster any more than anybody else, but it surprises me to see them down there and Posh down there, scratching around in the relegation zones. Lara's made it 1-0 after less than 2 minutes. Ipswich Town have made a flying start to the match. That's some good news. If we can just, blow the final whistle now. If things end right now, exactly as they are, we win the league, we go up as champions. We've done it before with Southend. We didn't go up as champions with Plymouth, did we? Was it playoffs with Plymouth? I forget how we ended up in the championship with Plymouth now. These players all look shattered. I don't know if we're going to make it through 90 minutes. We need another 2 or 3 goals quick so that we can make some substitutions and relax a little bit in this second half. Walsall not yet ahead in their game. It would also be pretty nice if they could fall behind in their game and go even further towards taking some of the pressure off. We've got that really early goal and don't really seem to have done anything else since. We've not created a clear-cut chance yet. We have had pretty much all the shots, majority of the possession, but we're not massively outplaying Doncaster. If you look at the average ratings of the two teams, there's not really very much between us. When you look at the stats and see how much, in theory, we've dominated everything else, we're getting a lot of possession and having a lot of shots without really doing anything particularly threatening, which, it's just going to be end of season nerves. We're just we remember last season all too keenly. Foots in, forces a save out of the keeper, and we've got another chance, and it's Duxbury and drills it wide, and that was our best couple of chances we've had in the entire game. Yes, we scored early on, but we actually looked threatening there, and we'll have a little bit more of that, please. But I don't know if it's going to be with this combination of players. We need to make some changes. Duxbury's going to come off, Shaw is going to come on, and we're going to bring on Giovanni McGregor for Cool. Swap all of them around and do that. I think we're going to make a triple, actually, and we're going to take Mark Foot off because of the injury that he had midweek. And we'll just do the last 20 minutes, triple substitution. We don't do this very often, but we're not trying to win the game. So let's bring some players on who will perhaps be a little bit keener to do that. Garcia, it'd be nice for him to grab another goal to finish it better than a goal a game. At the moment, he is sat there on his goal a game for the season. One more goal and he's better than a goal a game, and that's unheard of in Kev's universe. But I don't really care who scores or whether we score. We can't be giving away penalties though. Walsall are behind in their game. This might not matter. Obviously, we'd much rather save the penalty. If we save the penalty, we'll go at the other end and score. We'll be fine. We haven't saved the penalty. We're now only drawing, but Walsall are losing. And that is really important because there needs to be significant change around in the makeup of these games. Walsall have to come from behind to win without us pulling back into the lead. So, fingers crossed, it's still on, but I am very much watching what Walsall are up to. If they tick back up to 91 points, we need to start panicking and go and find a goal. Especially if we've given away another penalty. On what planet do we give away 2 penalties? This is the bottle job of all bottle jobs. Now we're both losing with 3 minutes to go. But as it stands, we're still top of the league. He's already celebrating, but he's not even looking. I mean, I just want to punch him in the eye. And, we're going to throw it all away. And I should probably look at the score in the Walsall game. Hopefully they're like 6-0 down and we don't need to be getting stressed. But this is the stupidest end to the season since last season's last day, which was equally stupid. Have we won the league? We have won the league. What a stupid game Football Manager can be at times. Why put me through that? only to still let me win the league. It was just like last year. Why let us win 3 back-to-back games? Why let us have a massive win on the last day of the season, only to then still relegate us? We're living in the opposite world. We have won the league though, and that's the important thing. We'll have a quick look at who our top players have been this year. We already know who they are. If we sort it by goals, Pablo Garcia. Oh, how has he not got his goal a game? Kev can't count again. Oh, well. There's always next year. So he got 37 goals from 38 starts. Foot 23 goals, 15 for whoever he is. One of 8 kids, I guess. A 20-year-old striker playing below conference level. We don't need to worry about him. But Todd got 11 goals as well. Lara weighing in with 8. If we look at the assists, some kid called Danny Hall got lots of assists. Is he playing at any kind of level of football? National League, that's not too bad. He's been an assist machine throughout his career. Perhaps we do need to keep an eye on this one. He's not actually ever going to be any good, which is a bit of a shame. But at that level, he's an assist machine. Lara 14, Miller 12, Garcia 12. What a season Garcia's had. And if we sort it by average ratings, obviously the player of the season, Pablo Garcia, 27-year-old Spaniard, 3-star current ability, 3-star potential ability. But what a season. I mean, it's the best season of his career by a gazillion miles. Very interesting to see what he's going to be like playing in the Championship, because I think it's pretty clear, looking at his career, he's been playing well below himself this year. So perhaps the step up to the Championship will get back to this kind of player. I hope not. Or I hope he carries on scoring for fun next year. Who else did we have on the average ratings? Gabrielli had a very good season. He's another one of our free transfer foreign signings in the summer. 23-year-old Italian. He spent his whole career on loan before he joined us and has had a great season. Captained us quite a lot as well. Mark Foot's right up there. He's only worth £7.5 million now. We'll get him back in the Championship. Score 30 goals. He'll get back up to 10 million. And then we've got some of the loanees, some of the other new signings. It's been a good season. A thumbs up for all. So if you have enjoyed that, and if you want to celebrate our promotion back up to the Championship, make sure you do pop a like on there for me. Let's get this to 1,000 likes, because we're back in the Championship. That's what you do to celebrate being back in the Championship, and that will make old Kev very happy. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more, and thank you very much for watching.